Support Wrestle Talk!
Donate on Patreon. A shock WWE return, a Money in the Bank beefcase cash-in, and I won mine and Luke's predictions by 1 point. I'm Ollie Davis, and the jacket lives on for another month. And please do click the eye above my head to vote for what you thought of the show, where you can choose from in Awe, Core, Average, Poor, and Bore. As I review Money in the Bank 2018 in about 4 minutes. The Bludgeon Brothers quickly beat Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson on the pre-show with decent action for the amount of time they were given, despite Big Cass being covered in sexy body oil. You ain't never gonna catch me! Daniel Bryan managed to make him tap for the second pay-per-view in a row. Speaking of feuds that need to go away forever, condemned to the darkest, deepest pits of damned wrestling storylines, an eternity of pain and suffering for programs that actively hurt their characters. Segue. Bobby Lashley beat Sami Zayn with 3 delayed suplexes. Nobody cared. Seth Rollins retained against Elias next in a curious match. After a lackluster opening for a Rollins bout, the action went up a gear for the final third, which Seth eventually won by hooking the tights. He cheated, but the commentators played it up as a mark of respect on Seth's part, that he had to resort to dirty tactics to overcome Elias. Great understanding of how moral principles work, Coachman! By the way, the commentary throughout the night was new levels of terrible. The women's Money in the Bank ladder match was a polished affair that never quite pulled me into the action. The spots were mostly inventive and well performed, but it often felt like the ladies were going through choreographed moves rather than believably having an in-ring encounter. Everyone got a chance both to shine and be hit-tossed onto a ladder though, and the winner came as a genuine surprise, mostly because she hid for half the match. The only heel in there, Alexa Bliss, unhooked the beefcase. More on that later. Boo! 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 Roman Reigns beating Jinder Mahal never stood a chance in Chicago, with the crowd ruining the bout with Mexican waves and unrelated chants, which is a shame, as Sunil Singh being miraculously healed from his injuries to attack Roman was rather fun. Reigns beat up the wheelchair-bound Singh, the WWE to unironically transition into a Special Olympics segment right after. The finish for Carmella successfully retaining against Asuka was almost as awkward as the in-ring action that preceded it. Someone dressed in Asuka's robe and mask appeared on the apron, a feat so surprising it distracted Asuka for about 17 minutes. Some say Asuka still stands there, staring into the middle distance to this day. It was revealed to be a returning James Ellsworth, which, to quote a Lukeism, is fine. It had been a pretty under-par pay-per-view by this point, but for a change, WWE loaded the back end of the show with its best matches. First up was a terrific last man standing bout between AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura. The hardcore spots and blood feuding was slightly undermined by Ciampa and Gargano's weekend stealing intensity from the night before, but the match was still very enjoyable, with Kinshasas onto announcers' tables and a Styles clash off the steel steps. AJ won with a phenomenal forearm off the top rope through the announcers' table outside. A very fun match, but a finish that poses the question, where does Nakamura go from here after losing all 6 times he's gone for the WWE title on the main roster? There's an argument for Nia Jax versus Ronda Rousey going on as the show's main event. It was the most heavily promoted match going in, the one with the most mainstream interest, and it had an awesome finish that made sense and ingeniously protected everyone involved. The in-ring action was pretty good too, with Nia really getting over her power moves through Ronda's brilliant selling, and Rousey's strike and submission offense having real fire. But just as Rousey had the winning armbar almost locked in, Alexa Bliss attacked both women with her freshly won beefcase and cashed it in on Nia to become the new Raw Women's Champion. WWE found the way to not have Ronda win the title too early and to not derail her momentum for losing, and the Bliss cash-in makes sense with her Jax feud through WrestleMania. But while some were hoping for Rusev and Lana to be Mr. and Mrs. Money in the Bank, the end of the night saw another mixed match challenge couple get the beefcases, Alexa and Braun Strowman. The men's ladder match was 20 very fun minutes of carnage, mostly built around everyone taking out Strowman, and then Strowman no-selling the offense of 7 top WWE wrestlers, which is a great way to push Braun, especially because he was the one winning, but it does give Raw a significant problem. The only 2 credible opponents for Strowman now are Brock Lesnar, who's never around, and Samoa Joe, who had the other best showing in this match, but he's on SmackDown. The last 3 matches were very enjoyable, well, but that does still leave 7 others that were below average to boring, half of which could have easily taken place on the Go Home Raw or SmackDowns. And because WWE went for quantity over quality, Money in the Bank 2018 is a low average. NXT TakeOver Chicago was much better, which you can watch our review of by clicking the video on screen now. And give us a subscribe to keep up to date with all the latest backstage wrestling news. I've been Ollie Davis, and that was wrestling.